I'm Emily Marinelli, and you're listening to the Twin Peaks Tattoo Podcast. I'm a professor of psychology, a psychotherapist, a writer on 25 Years Later website, and a huge Twin Peaks fan. I'm not a tattoo artist or tattoo expert by any means, but I'm a tattoo enthusiast and wanted to make a podcast combining two things I love the most. Each episode of the Twin Peaks Tattoo Podcast interviews someone about their Twin Peaks tattoo and explores what their ink means to them. Thanks for joining. December 2022, a year ago this month, I lost my grandmother. Gilda was 95, and on some level I knew it was coming, but it still happened suddenly. No matter how much I prepared, death still snuck up on me. I was in Pensacola visiting her for a few months when it happened. I'm so lucky I happened to be there when she passed. Technically, Gilda is my step-grandmother, the mother of my stepfather. She was the sweetest woman, and in her elder years became even sweeter. A textile worker in a mill since dropping out of school at age 14, she spent her years with her back hunched over an assembly line in Rhode Island. She married an emotionally and physically abusive man that she took care of until he died. With the hard life she led, I'm still amazed how she kept her spirits up. One of the major things that kept her going was her love of Christmas. Gilda and I shared our love of the magic and spirit of the holiday. While Gilda was Catholic and the holiday meant something special for her in that regard, Christmas had and has no religious meaning for me. I understand the consumer aspect of it is gross capitalism at work, but I still love walking into a store and smelling chemicals, cinnamon potpourri, and seeing seasonal crap for sale. For Gilda and I, it was mostly about the gaiety of the decorations, the love we give each other, and the way things just slow down and even stop when Christmas comes. It's a time to rest and play. Until the very end, she was in her bedroom with the Hallmark Christmas on 24/7. Even in her sleep, I would walk in to adjust her pillow and see Dean Cain in The Case for Christmas or Elizabeth Berkley in Lucky Christmas. I would sit down in a white wicker chair next to her hospice bed to watch a little. Sometimes she would wake up and we would chat about the characters, and I would explain what was going on, what she missed when she was asleep. Smiling at our mutual love of these heart-wrenching, heteronormative, recycled plot lines, we shared these hallmark moments up until the end. When the time came, I sat next to her for an hour after she passed. I found her rosary on the dresser, and while I didn't know exactly what to do with it, I know she would have wanted it, so I put it in her hand and held my hand over it. I played Christmas music from my phone, leaving the Hallmark channel on, volume down, just in case she wanted to be near the comfort of the actors, the Canadian small towns, and the snowy timberlines. I talked to her and I told her how much I loved her and what she meant to me. A week later, I decided to get a commemorative tattoo to remember her. Naturally, it had to be Christmas themed. And for me, there was no better choice than to also make it Twin Peaks themed. Naturally. Thanks to the genius prop researcher and collector Vinny Guidera, check out our Twin Peaks Tattoo Podcast episode in season 1. I saw the perfect snowman from the show on his Instagram page. The plastic snowman is a hanging decoration in the background. It wears a red top hat, a matching vest, and holds a green and gold present and cane, and has a bow tie fashioned of holly. You can see this cutie in the hallway as Cooper and Truman lead Andy and Hawk to the firing range. A wonderful and strange Christmas decoration in the world of Twin Peaks. I searched for a female tattoo artist in Pensacola and found the incredibly talented Brittany at Portside Tattoos, who drew the most adorable version of this snowman, adding some snowflakes all around it. The piece is clearly from the show, but has Brittany's own style and essence as an artist coming through. Lying on her tattoo table that afternoon, I told her about my grandmother and cried a little. Getting tattooed is an important part of my grieving process. We laughed at the randomness of the tattoo itself, and I got to tell her about Twin Peaks and why it matters to me. I love any opportunity for a Twin Peaks conversation starter. When I look at my snowman now, a year later, I think of Gilda and our Christmas moments together. I think about all the Christmases we spent opening presents, of a 5 feet tall Santa and Mrs. Claus she had in her living room that danced when you pressed a button. I think about getting to be with her those last days. Throughout our lifetime, the only thing constant is change. But there are things that remain and stay the same. For me, my love of Christmas is one of them. My love of Twin Peaks is another. In this bonus Christmas episode of the Twin Peaks Tattoo Podcast, I talked to Kaity McAllister, whose tattoo portraits are characters that she loves and gets to carry with her. While Cheryl Lee is still alive, Kaity's portrait of Laura Palmer is its own commemorative tattoo. We can debate if our Laura may have disappeared and who is Carrie Page, but for Kaity, the return opened questions about alternate timelines and what stays consistent when reality changes. We talk about the impact that Laura has had on us, the object constancy of Twin Peaks, and what the show means to her now. Kaity is fierce as fuck. It's likely that you know her in the Twin Peaks fan community for her incredible artistry. But did you know by day she's a badass who works in IT in the corporate world? She's inspiring to me personally in how she upholds women's rights in a male-dominated industry. She started her own modeling agency so she could be her own boss. Oh yeah, and she's an art director and an actor too. I know. Amazing. We talk about the sexy horror Christmas movie she's working on. These are linked in the podcast notes. And of course, we talk about her incredible Twin Peaks tattoos, including what she coins a Twin Peaks tattoo stocking on her leg. Way better than calling it a leg sleeve. Kaity is a St. Louis-based model, actress, and IT professional. She credits transcendental meditation and goal-setting techniques as the foundation of her success. She has recently been a feature actress in the film Triple Xmas, also starring Drew Marvick, Alyssa Rose, Morrigan Thompson, Jessa Flux, and a variety of other indie stars. Here is the fabulousness of Kaity. Hi, Kaity. Welcome.
Hello. It's good to be here.
It's so good to have you here. I wanted to just start with asking you a little bit about your work, being an actor, a model, an artist. Tell us a little bit about who you are and your work.
So, for those who might not know me in the fan community, I go by Kaity McAllister or Katie Larley if you knew me like during that phase of my life. But I am technically by day an IT professional. I've actually done IT for I'm coming up on 10 years. So, and I've actually, I was a technical corporate trainer. Like I've onboarded help desks in 3 countries
Oh my
and
gosh.
all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I kind of made my way up the corporate chain. And when when COVID hit, they sent us home and they put me kind of in a department that I wasn't planning on being in very long. And I'm still there. But it's a really low volume, like there's not a lot to do on that team for real. It's low impact, I guess you could say. So I get a lot of extra time. And so I dubbed myself a double lifer, which means that I work the IT job by day and I work remotely so I can travel as long as I have a good internet
You
connection.
just need Wi-Fi.
To get it done. Yep. And like a VPN, like good, decent Wi-Fi. But I've mastered that. Like I worked from some pretty cool places, Twin Peaks included. So,
oh, nice.
But I'll work that job during the day, and then in the evenings, I'm free reign. I'll catch a red-eye flight, and I'll go somewhere, or I'll drive like 4 or 5 hours, go to Lexington, go to Chicago. I'll go to a convention. I'll go visit friends in the fan community. Just anything that's going on where people are gathering, I try to kind of hit. And so I found kind of a community modeling in St. Louis, and I've tried to make it a point to do a photo shoot like everywhere that I've gone.
Mm.
And so far that's mostly happened.
Everywhere that you've
So
gone, like around St. Louis, you mean, or just like in your travels?
in general, yeah, in my travels,
Oh, wow.
um, I didn't get to do one like pre-pandemic. So like Mexico and India, the cool ones, like I didn't get to. But yeah, being in New Orleans. I now know some New Orleans photographers. I apparently have a decent following in Chicago, around the Midwest. And so I kind of turned that into a business, but I didn't want to I wasn't ready to go through the rigmarole of like getting an agent.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought I could handle it myself. So I started my own, I guess it's an agency. It's where I put all my creative outlet stuff. Like stuff like this, obviously I do it because I love it and for fun. But like when I'm getting a paid like modeling gig or like something like that, that's where I put my funds and do taxes and all that fun legal government kind of crap. And you have to have something on paper because I work for a big company. Like my day job is like ethereal, and they want to know if you're like making extra money. Even like DoorDashing, people have to report that they get approved. Now, you don't not get approved. Like you always get approved, but like they want them.
Yeah.
Because it's a finance firm.
So,
yes. But it's funny because they give me a lot of freedom. Like when they sent us home, they never really gave us any guff about what to wear, like how to look. I've always kind of looked like this. I just didn't have rainbow hair.
So. Your hair is so good. I love your hair so much.
But the tattoos, like, short of getting a little more work done, they were already there.
Wow.
And I already had a hand tattoo. I had the septum ring. I wore it to all 3 countries I onboarded help desk. Like, yeah, people know what I look like. I went to DC for a client back in like 2016 or something. Like the director of the department like hosted me at his house in his guest, area, whatever.
Wow.
So I've just never had issues with like how I look in the workplace.
That's so huge for a lot of people. It keeps them from getting ink is like being afraid of getting gigs or jobs or whatever. And thankfully, I've also been okay with that, but it's been in my mind, especially in the past.
What's really funny is that we have a lot of huge job shortages right now. We're short on doctors, we're short on dentists, we're short on pilots, we're short on places that are really, really strict about how you look and how you present yourself. And it's like, you guys are going to need to get more lenient about stuff.
Seriously.
Because people don't want to go to school and put in the work if nobody's going to land them a job because they look like someone like me, Right. And I had an HR lady one time, like very jokingly, by the way, like tell me just don't tattoo your face. But like, even if I did, they still wouldn't care now. So that's, right.
Well, and you're at a certain point in your career too, where like you're just very revered and like really good at what you do and all of that too. So there's also that, but just all of this like policing on our bodies is just like, what is the difference? It doesn't make any difference on how I perform my job, right? Whether or not I have a neck or a neck tattoo.
Exactly. And like, that's next, boo. What are we talking about? But, so yeah, I do all that, and like I've done the modeling thing for a long time. I've modeled in St. Louis for 10 years, or it's been over 10 years now. Like 2011 was a long time ago. So like 12. I'm actually at a studio right now. Like after we're done with the podcast, I'm wrapping a shoot and going home.
Oh my God, amazing! God, but you're working a lot though. How is that in terms of just like balancing your schedule?
So thankfully, when I'm like not traveling. And I haven't been traveling lately because I've been buying property here. So, and it'll chain me down. But I have been buying here and I haven't really been traveling. And when I'm not traveling, I work from home. Like I haven't seen the office since March 1st of 2020. And I actually think that if I went into an office, I would flash back. Like 2020 was wrecked. Like crazy. And I feel like I got closer to the fan community than ever before. because I only went to one fest, like one Twin Peaks festival, and then like I just stayed in touch with everybody forever.
Mm.
Because like my late ex and I got engaged at Twin Peaks Fest 16 on my birthday.
Oh my
So
gosh. Wow.
yeah, it's
That's
like
very
the best.
special. So
Yeah,
special. Oh my goodness.
God rest his soul.
Hmm.
But either way, I do all this shit. I recently kind of took a hiatus from modeling until like kind of this last couple weeks. But have been doing movies. I've been making movies out here in STL as well.
What kind
Um,
of like what are you doing?
I'm doing two Christmas themed movies.
Oh my God. I love Christmas so
The
much.
first, I fell in love with it this year, finding out I was going to do these films like at Christmas time, and so we kept the trees up and everything to keep ourselves in the spirit, like. And yeah, so I've been art directing a short comedy film called Christmas Philiac. You could probably guess the context if you know what a philiac of anything is, but this guy has an uncontrollable fetish for Christmas, like Christmas music, commercial Santa Clauses, anything with snowman, reindeer, the whole Coca-Cola scenes, that sort of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Relatable. Yeah.
Yeah. And he can, and I did look it up. There's no such actual thing as a Christmas philiac. I did check. So I'm doing that one, and that should be out, like, kind of trying to convince our editor, like, you really want to hurry up and get this out by like this Christmas, but
Yeah.
maybe next year, she takes her time, and I support her. So we're waiting on that one. But the one that's for sure coming out at this Christmas is a horror feature in which I am talent, and I play, so basically the premise of this one, oh, I forgot to mention the credits. So like Christmas Philiac is directed by Stephen Province of Bug Juice Productions. And that's here in St. Louis, it's a local. And the other film is called Triple Xmas. And it is also raunchy, and it is a horror comedy. I think it's a feature film though. I think it's full length. Mm-hmm. And that one is basically, it's directed by James Dean, Dean. Mm-hmm. And he heads Monster Kid Productions, also local St. Louis area. And he's been doing some crazy shit lately. So Triple Xmas is about a Santa type character who goes on a rampage on an adult film set. And it's very like intentionally 80s B horror style. Felissa Rose is in it. Oh. So it's going to be really, really cool. And I play one of the girls. And I won't spoil it, but like if people hate me, they'll really like this movie.
That's a great way to promote it without saying too much. That's
right?
Perfect. Yeah. What
So like I think that's everything I'm doing right now. I recently did another podcast too, and it's just on my Facebook page, and it's about safety in modeling community and the art community in St. Louis.
I watched that, and it's so really, really, really good. Just all of what you're talking about. I think it's really applicable to probably like women in a lot of different industries too. Like some of the sentiments that you're speaking on are just so important. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're literally like, we're fighting for equality right now at my other job. Not so much in the same breath as like just being a woman, but like they just the cost center versus the profit center kind of thing. So like IT always gets like, ugly stepsistered. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the stuff we deal with. Yeah. So it's like fighting to get on counted as part of the big business with everyone else is hard. So
yeah. Well, that's a really, it was really great, really powerful. A lot of the things you were saying, and we can link it to in the show note. We'll link all the stuff you're talking about so people can find it.
I'll have YouTube links shortly, or probably within the next couple of weeks, of the like the highlights of the podcast. I think she doesn't edit. So
Right.
yeah,
Great.
I'll
And then
totally.
during Christmas, we'll get to see this.
Yes, and I'm hoping
Wonderful.
that like there's going to be a premiere in St. Louis. Like me and the director are really trying to work something out so that
Mm,
the community can come together and be like, hey, we really can make a movie. Like we can be LA, we can be New York. Let's do the
hmm
thing.
hmm I also really like that you're working with all like local folks, like local artists. It's really nice.
My motto, actually, I guess this is now my motto. I hadn't really trademarked or coined anything, but I've been telling everybody this for the last like 2 months, and it's St. Louis, born, bred, made, owned, and operated.
Mm, mm, mm,
So
mm.
all like, and everything like about me is from her. So my hair, my face, all the stuff there, my tattoos, all the tattoos except for like four, like two
Uh-huh.
of them are from New Orleans. So like,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yeah,
but yeah, they're pretty much all St. Louis. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to hear about your tattoos. But first, tell me about how you found Twin Peaks or how Twin Peaks found you.
Twin Peaks is such an amazing story. It's my favorite. So I was probably 12, 13. It was like 2006 or 7,
Hmm.
roughly. And I was just kind of an awkward teenage girl. I didn't have a whole lot of friends, and like high school was coming, and girls wanted to be popular, and I wasn't showing those vibes, and all sorts of stuff was happening. And I'd been through a whole lot of crap, and I just felt very, very alone. And my cool uncle was coming to town like one day. I think it was probably for the holidays or like somebody's birthday or something. Like they came during occasions because they lived in Texas and we lived out just 2 hours like north of where I am right now. Or at least where I live, not where I am. I'm a little further out now. So they lived in central Illinois and they would drive 10, it was like 12 hours actually to get to my grandparents' house where I lived. And my cool uncle was fucking cool. Okay. Like he is the most, like, he's like my family hero. You know how you kind of have like your one family hero? Like he's totally it. We're totally the same. Um, just our mannerisms and the way that we think. And I can just relate a lot to his taste in things. And I decided that I was going to tape because we still used VHS tapes and taped things. And I decided that I would find a curated film on the television and I would record the film for us to watch when he arrived into town. And that film ended up being Twilight Zone, the movie. And it aired on Chiller Channel on Chiller TV. If you had like satellite TV and had direct TV between like 2006 and 2012 or something, you could find Chiller. And they had all horror at the time, like Tales from the Crypt would play, and Millennium, and Brimstone, and like all those obscure shows, Freddy's Nightmares, like all of that stuff. I got exposed to all of it. And they finally started to show movies. And they actually had an ad for Twin Peaks, like in their previews, like of things that they showed on their channel or whatever. Like during their commercial, they would play ads for Twin Peaks. And I just wondered, like, this is so interesting. What is this? Blah, blah, blah. My uncle gets there and I'm like, okay, we need to watch this videotape together. And the videotape that I popped in that day ended up recording the last 10 minutes or so of a Twin Peaks episode.
Before the Twilight Zone started?
And yeah, like before Twilight Zone started, the end of the show before was Twin Peaks. And like I just plugged in the VCR and hit play, and that's what I saw started first. And my uncle went, "Oh, that's Twin Peaks. There's that Asian lady, and there's that little person." He didn't say that. It was 2006, but you know, it's that little guy. Oh, and yeah, that's that Bob dude. And I was just like, my cool uncle likes this show. I kind of think the show is interesting too. It ended up being the episode where Josie turns into a doorknob that I saw, end of. The very first thing I ever saw
What
related
a
to Twin Peaks.
bizarre entry point into the show is that particular episode. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And it was such a turning point for the show too. And but back then I had to wait for the series to start over, like in syndication, because they were putting out a new episode like every day. And it was almost to the end. So like I waited like another week or whatever, however long it took. And I finally caught the pilot and I got to watch it like every week, basically. And yeah, that's how I found it. It was just on Chiller TV in
So you would watch it
2006.
you would watch it episodically, like one episode a week, or did they put more on as it came back?
So what I ended up finding out is they would play that twice a week. They would play like the episode from the previous week on like Wednesday or something, and then they play the new one on like Thursday. And so I would just kind of rewatch it all. Like I'd watch both days no matter what. And so I ended up watching it like practically twice over. And it came to like the end, and I was like, oh, when's season 3 come out? Let me Google it on my limited bandwidth internet. And I had my heart ripped out of my chest. Got broken up with by the internet, you know? So yeah, that's totally the story of like my first go around with Twin Peaks. I was like, I still had braces on. Like,
What was it like to watch it being so young?
I was already such a wacky kid, and I was already ahead of my game as far as like I had an early adult like reading level, and like the brain power was already there.
Yeah.
And so I understood the concepts of it, and I understood very well that a lot of people found Dale Cooper very strange, and everybody really liked him. And I was like, well, I'm like him. Everybody here hates me. So like, I need to leave. And like, yeah, I grew so attached to the characters because I related so hard to Dale, and I relate so much to Laura because I think I kind of became enamored by Laura when I got the diary. And which was I was a kid. All the same year, you get the gold box, you get the diary. You know, that Christmas was so. I ended up getting the diary and opening it to the first page, and what did I see before me but my own birthday, July 22nd? And I was just like, I really want to hear what this chick has to say. And she went through a whole lot of things that I feel like I could relate to. She had a lot of feelings in that, like in this book, that I felt like I had probably repressed a little bit, and I didn't have a lot of the access to this kind of wild child lifestyle that she led. Like I didn't have my own phone line like until much later in life, well into high school. I didn't have like any access to older boys, like with cars, like no, none of that, you know, would happen for me. But and like obviously like the cocaine problem didn't come until much later. I'm just kidding. But yeah, needless to say, like the double life, I just felt like, yeah, there's another person inside me, like I can feel her. And I feel like we're kind of there now. But yeah, back then that was totally number one for me. And the fact that there were places in the world where people who thought weird like I did could be liked and like have friends, a successful life, like it gave me hope, like there's still a chance for me. The only thing that didn't really set in right away was that I liked this show, and I knew 0 other people who liked this show. So in a way, like all I had was Twin Peaks for the longest time. And I didn't really run into the internet and fan communities directly, short of, you know, I read all the message boards, but I didn't know who was posting. So, I would meet those people much later, but I didn't get back into it until I had my first IT job and I realized I could afford tickets to the Twin Peaks Festival. And like, I got online and looked everything up and I was like, oh, but like before that, I didn't realize there were other fans. I just really didn't, not
Mm.
until much later. And all through college, I told people about it. Like, no one knew about it but me.
Did you? I did this where I tried to get my friends to watch it, and I would like make poster boards with all of the like cut out pictures of the characters and paste them to try to help them
Oh,
navigate like who's the who's who, because it's like so complicated how everyone's interconnected,
hard.
and it's there's so many characters at first it's like hard to keep track of who's who. I tried to get my friends into it, and it just didn't work. How is it for you?
The one person I lost the battle with was my mom.
Uh-huh.
Like my grandma, my grandpa, my late ex-husband, like everybody likes this show. And my friends, people have watched it obsessively over and over. My
Mm.
mom is like, I don't get it. I just don't. And I'm like, you know what? It's not like she has bad taste in
Hmm.
other things, because like we do
Hmm.
like a lot of the same shows.
Hmm.
But she just, yeah, she never got into it. And that was my one, like, come on, you're my mom, though. Like, this is my thing. It was
It's
like, you're
very
saying you
important.
don't get me. She's like, well, I kind of don't. I'm like,
So the festival that you went to, that was the first and only time you've been? Was that first festival? Yeah. In
yeah,
16? Is that what you said?
yeah, 16. And I
Mm.
was like a young, I was a young professional. I think I was making like well over minimum wage at the time. And back then it was $7 and something. So like I was pretty high on the horse. I think I was making the equivalent to what the minimum wage is now.
Uh-huh.
But like back then, that was like big baller money.
Hmm.
I still maxed out a credit card to travel there though, because the flights from St. Louis to Seattle and then the rental car to North Bend is just insane. And there was no, I drove a Mercury Sable back then. I couldn't drive that. So
What what happened for you when the third season finally did come out?
it was such a ha ha, fuck you. I told you so. Like all the people I knew in high school, my DMs were so like apologizing people and like, how in the hell did you know? Are you psychic? Did you predict the future? Because like as soon as everyone saw the news, they remembered me. And I was just like, oh, wasn't
Because you
that weird?
knew. You knew.
Yeah,
You were like, this is definitely happening. You just knew.
I I never really I wasn't aggressive about it. I just always kind of wondered. I always had feeling like a
Hmm.
feeling
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
maybe somebody will pick it up. Maybe someone will like it. And I'm like, well, I bet the third season won't even be as good as the other ones and blah blah blah. So it's like it's probably gonna be shitty when it happens, but like it'll happen. And it was not shitty, in fact.
Oh,
So
shit.
good luck. Yeah. But it was so funny because I saw the announcement on the trending section of Facebook and I took a screenshot instantly and I put it on my page and I was just like, ha ha, I told everybody, da, 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 da. Everybody made fun of me, everybody made me feel like a piece of shit and a weirdo. Who's laughing now? Like that's like exactly how it went down. And then I got excited for what it would actually be about.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I love The Return so much. I
I
think
did too.
I think I watch it now more than I go back and watch the original series.
There's this article that I read, and I want to say W Magazine put it out, but I can never find it anymore. Like I can't find even archive posts. But the article was called Laura is the One, and it talked about her double life, and it talked about the
Mm.
legacy of her character. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, like this is the best synopsis. If the writer of that is watching this or listening right now, like you're amazing, and you should send me a link because I can't find your article anymore. But that one really summed it up for me. And it just talks, so it is so centered on Laura, the
Mm,
character.
mm.
Finally, we get like a full foretelling of her story.
How did you, if you don't mind me asking, relate to her in the return as she was speaking to you so much in the diary and in the original series? Like anything that
So
happened for you personally around that in the return?
this new one, I guess the different phases, the different lives that she led in the return and the different ways that we see her,
Mm-hmm.
it sort of, it brought back a bunch of like old memories, of course. And
Mm-hmm.
like Twin Peaks has been centered around so many major aspects of my life that like when I saw Laura in the Red Room after 25 years, and she like it just I can't believe it. So that part was almost a kind of saying hello to my inner child kind of thing. And then her playing Paige, right?
Yeah, Carrie
Yeah,
Page.
Harry Page. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that Paige is her first name. I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, but when she's living as her in that alternate timeline, I think now a lot about alternate timelines, and I
Mm.
think about what would have happened if like the pandemic hadn't hit,
Mm.
and things would be so different for me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that would have stayed consistent the whole time was Twin Peaks. And in Twin Peaks, in the return, Carrie Page, the one constant in her life is that Dale Cooper shows up. Like the one constant in both our lives is still Dale Cooper shows up no matter freaking what.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was something totally new that I had to realize. And even when I first watched it then compared to now, like I have a whole different life. It's
Mm-hmm.
wild to think about how just one thing happening just turned everything into something totally different. And it's like I do feel that like that old life is somewhere else. Like these
Mm-hmm.
other people are somewhere else, and they're like living as I live. It's weird, but yeah, that's kind of how I relate to it now. It's more existential.
That was an incredible answer. That was so beautiful, Katie. Thank you for saying all that. And
Yeah.
I am thinking about that for you now, like in your life, in your world where you're traveling, kind of post-pandemic world where you're traveling, you're getting to be in places that you want to be, like you're living your art, you're being an artist, you're like in a different you're just in a different, yeah, universe.
So yeah, and little me would have just shit herself thinking like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, oh, okay, yeah, woo, here we go. Next question.
Thanks for saying all of that. Well, let's talk about your tattoos. Tell me about your
Yes.
Twin Peaks tattoos. Tell me where they are on your body. Tell us, listeners, the
Yeah.
style of them, the story of them, the artist of them, all of that.
So, my tattoos, Twin Peaks related, are both on my left leg, on like my thigh, like the upper thigh, because that's like the best place to put their portrait tattoos. And like you want big space for portraits. You don't really want small ones because they'll get blurry kind of fast.
Yeah.
So I have, and it's funny because I originally wanted a David Lynch tattoo on my back.
Mm.
And I always wanted the head, like I've always wanted his face. And somebody said, well, then you'll never look at it. You'll never see it. Like, wouldn't you want somewhere where you can stare at it yourself, like all the time? And I was like, you have an incredible point. So
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting my Crispin Glover portrait first, and that's on my right
You have a
thigh.
Crispin Glover portrait. I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah.
Is it black and gray?
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, they both are. Him and David are both black and gray, and they're both on like the outer side of my thigh. So if I turn straight sideways, that's how they face.
mm,
Um, and so Crispin's on the right, and David Lynch is on the left. And the Crispin Glover tattoo turned out amazing, and I was like, okay, I trust you with my David Lynch one. And the David Lynch one turned out better than like the reference picture. Like it made
mm.
me cry.
Wow.
And sadly, I can't credit the artist because he is a domestic abuser. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
but he is in St. Louis.
Hmm.
Sadly, he's still in town.
Hmm.
He works kind of on the west side of town, and it's like an hour away from me.
Hmm.
But the artists that I do go to now around here are really good. I go mainly to permanent vacation tattoos
That's a great
in
name for a shop.
right, and it
Yeah.
kind of is because you'll be in that motherfucker all day.
I know.
Like you'll be in there all day and like not even give it a second thought. So that's definitely the angle they're going for. But
Hmm.
the two guys that work there now, Matt and Travis, and like Matt, he did my whole like arm all the
Oh
way
my
up.
gosh. Wow.
Yeah, he did
Oh,
all
that's so
that.
pretty. Hmm.
Yeah, and he's fast and like just bangs it out. He got the sleeve done in like just a matter of hours total. It just took a few years to like kind of put together
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and become like a full-fledged
A
thing.
full story. Yeah. It's beautiful. There's a beautiful color. I know listeners can't see what I'm getting to look at, but it's beautiful
Yeah.
and full color sleeve. And I'm sure when you see Katie's movie and also all of her modeling things, you'll get to see it too. But it's really beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, I do have tattoo pictures on my like Facebook and Instagram, and like you'll see them around, like you'll know,
Mm.
right? But I also have, so I have David and Kristen, and then I have Cheryl Lee in color in the front.
On your
And,
leg also?
it's
The
she
left
is
leg?
to the right of David's face, yeah. So she's facing the front, and then he's facing the side.
Mm.
And I'm working on like a whole, I hate using the term leg sleeve because it doesn't make logistical sense to me. Like I'm working on a tattoo stocking.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Leg sleeve is kind of weird. I like
Yeah,
stocking. I like stocking.
yeah, I'm working on a stocking for my leg of tattoos. And it's gonna be all like Twin Peaks. So I'll probably get Dale Cooper like he's gonna be next, but I have to get a new artist and I also have to find one in town and I also
Hmm.
have to a play like the best place for him where I can fit the most portraits and the most Twin Peaks oriented stuff.
Hmm.
Because like my
You
legs like big at the top and small at the bottom.
right. We really have to plan that stuff out and yeah. And find artists that do portraits. That's, yeah.
Yeah, any of that complex work is really tricky and kind of
Hmm.
difficult to find. And it's kind of the same with like any body modification. I'm super picky about who does it, like
Hmm.
head to toe for real. All
Yeah.
the I didn't stop at tattoos. um, Transcended into other areas. It's like if
Uh-huh.
you're gonna modify your body, just don't be afraid to do the whole thing, right?
Hmm.
And so, like whatever I like, I get kind of reasonably, right?
Hmm.
Like I'm not gonna go get in a BBL anytime soon, but in the same breath, it's like I do like a bigger butt. So when that becomes more accessible, maybe, but that just means you've got more room for tattoos.
Exactly. See, it works out. Exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely Coop your thinking and anyone else like you're like, I definitely want portrait of that person or representation of that image from the show.
So Ray for sure. Um, I don't think I want to do the smile because I think it's too much of a risk. When you're getting a tattoo and people are tattooing teeth,
Mm,
it gets shaded real fast.
it's
Like
it's choices, yeah, choices around
they're
teeth.
hard to
Hmm.
get right. So I'm
Hmm.
trying to find like the perfect serious portrait image of Ray, like that
Hmm.
represents him in the show. So I got the Cheryl Lee portrait that I got was based on the still from Fire Walk with Me, where they play Questions in a World of Blue, and she's kind of semi-portrait, and like the red light and the blue are on her face.
Hmm.
And that guy still fucked that one up. I got to redo that one. So because it's like color and black and gray are also two very different areas.
Different worlds. Hmm.
Yeah, and like the guy was a great black and gray artist, and he was getting better at color as time had passed. And I was one
Mm-hmm.
of like, when Cheryl's portrait was fresh, it looked really, really good. I also got an infection, like, so I got it in New Orleans. That was the first time I'd ever gone to New Orleans. And so, but I
Mm-hmm.
did with a pretty nasty cellulitis case.
Oof.
Thankfully, though, she did heal well. Like, there's not a lot of damage or permanent
That's
scar
good.
or anything. They just
Mm-hmm.
gotta, like, there's gonna be some reshading that needs done.
Mm-hmm. So definitely Ray, and then you're not sure the rest of that,
So,
or
Sherilyn, for sure. And I met her last year at Spooky Empire.
oh, you right.
So yeah, she's freaking awesome. And like when my late ex passed away, I like made a bunch of posts and I deleted them, and like the family kind of came after me, and I was just like feeling really shitty and things going wrong. And I get a DM and it's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry about your ex-husband. Like I know how bad it gets, and I hope you stay blessed and like have a wonderful day or whatever." And it was from her, and I was just
Oh
like,
my God.
I like kind of peed a little. I was like, "Whoa, holy crap!"
Wow.
And like years before that, we had gotten the year that I had gotten engaged. Um, we won a silent auction, and it was her issue of Playboy, and she had signed every page that she was on. I did not get that in the divorce, and I was not left it in the will. So it is gone. I have
Mm.
no idea where it is. Sherilyn, if you're watching this, if you ever see me again, it'd be cool if you could do that for me, but I'm too shy to ask. So I do have a blank copy. I'm too shy. Um, when I did meet her, I had it in my bag and I couldn't do it. I
You
couldn't
just
do
couldn't
it.
do it. Uh-huh.
Well, I also saw the dolls on the table and she never
Mm.
has those anymore. And I was like, oh my God, this is my one opportunity to get this doll.
And you got one?
Yes. She's on my shelf at home
Oh,
and she signed her leg. So, like,
that's really special. That's like a
yeah.
reclaiming of getting something from her in autograph form. And the fact that she DM'd you too, it's like you're building your own kind of new relationship and with her that's like outside of, yeah, what
Right.
happened before. Yeah.
And it was so special because like between her and like I was like John Neff, I tell you what, like he and I got extremely close over the years. And when I was going through all my 2020 crap, like we saw each other. He was like one of the first people I saw like coming out of like disability and all this other crap that I was going through. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like, and he remembered everything about me. We hadn't seen each other in several years, and he remembered everything about me, like everything we had talked about. That guy had the like a photographic memory. And so, like, to have that, like, with cast members in general, like,
Mm-hmm.
having recognize you and be like, oh my God, I remember you from Lexington. And, or when are you going to start, like, coming to conventions in these official shirts and, like, all this kind of stuff. And, like, you don't work here yet? Like, they'll say that kind of stuff.
I listened to your, really, really beautiful tribute to John on Colin's Cream Corn in the Universe episode. And if anyone's listening
Yeah.
and hasn't heard that, you should definitely listen to that. It came out the end of last year. And, you're very heartfelt and like honest and beautiful, like way you were speaking about John is really powerful. Okay, so I hope you know that.
I
It's great.
appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love him. So, yeah, see, can't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like so nice. It's just so nice to be remembered, and it's nice to be told that you mean something in someone else's life, and especially somebody who, like, you feel like you've known forever because you've watched that show and like you've listened to all the music and you've watched all the movies and
Mm-hmm.
like you collected all the stuff and you went to the fest and you got the autographs and like you have everything, but like to have them be like it's you, like oh my God, I just melt like
Mm-hmm.
every single time. It's like I am the famous one now, like so they're just, it's like the most wonderful group. Like, I don't think I've ever felt more like I could be anywhere and there's one of
Mhm.
us, you know? And like sometimes that person could be just randomly dating a fucking Ashbrook or like, maybe someday they'll want to come to St. Louis.
Hmm.
So that's like part of my angle is speaking about how great our city is so that more famous people come here.
I mean, it is a great city. I mean, you're not lying. It's just that, right.
And
It's
like,
like, come on, let me attract amazing
right,
people here.
does anyone have $1 million they want to invest downtown? Like, that'd be cool. Build us a Whole Foods,
Um, Let me ask you, how does it feel now to wear your Twin Peaks tattoos? What is it like in the world for you to have them? I'm thinking especially as you're like modeling or but also just like day to day, whatever.
I dreamed about him. Like, I've known, like, it's weird with me. I'm a little woo, so just prepare everyone, viewers at home. Sorry, but
Same.
but there have been times where, I've had some spiritual experiences in college with like some experimental things. And I physically felt my tattoos and like where they were supposed to be placed on my body. And this was before I had any of that stuff. And it was almost like cold spaces, like holes, like something's missing. And then later I did the things, and they're legal in some states now, just not mine. So I'm like,
Yeah,
but it's been many years anyway. But yeah, so when that happened again and I had the tattoos, it was warm.
it felt warm.
It was warm, like the spaces had been filled. Like I shit
Mm.
you not, and it's different. I get these hot and cold little patches all over my body, and it's like, okay, this is where this is going, this is where that's going. I
It's
already
like
have my,
the medicine or the experience is telling you, showing you, revealing to you where they should be, where the
I
holes
guess
are, where the sensations are.
yeah, like it's like, hey, that thing that you've been seeing in your brain, maybe put that here, and there's like a cold, shaky spot, and I'm so yeah, and then I would get the tattoo, and like however long would pass, and I would, I did it again, and all the spots that were cold before were like warm and like comfortable, like
Wow, it's like you, what an incredible way to communicate somatically without like even
yeah,
necessarily outwardly like, hey, what do you think? Should I put it here? Should I put it here? Although that's important too. This is like you communicating spiritually with some version of yourself, with some version
yeah,
of something else maybe, and having this relationship somatically to understand
yeah,
what it
and
should
it's
be.
the same thing with Twin Peaks The Return now. Like I see the other lives, and it's like I
Mm-hmm.
see forms of myself and forms of my own face that I haven't recognized. And over time, I do recognize now. Like it's kind of it's just crazy how that works. And so like the more the tattoos come into play, the more that I just get more and more filled up, like the warmer I get. So and I haven't really had any experiences in, I think my last one was like 2015. And it was kind of a weird one anyway. I think it was a little bunk, like fake stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But needless to say, yeah, I remember having like a lot of the tattoos I have now. I didn't have this filled all the way, so that would be interesting to know now. But I had most of it at the time. And like I had it, yeah, mostly filled in, just not fill in.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole arm was just like piping hot. Like I didn't need jacket. It was pretty cold out. Like never, and I'm always cold. Like
Wow. Wow. That's
it's
amazing.
it's wild.
That's really
And
amazing. I really like this a lot. I really do.
I'm so glad.
Hmm. Yeah. What did you say you have a neck tattoo in your future?
Yeah, eventually it'll probably span like the whole front. I ran out of room on this side already, but I really wanted a Victorian like lace collar, like a feather lace collar,
Mm.
or like something that had like some sort of lace thing to it, like a a doily rack or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's totally gonna be a thing. I probably still want, I don't feel anything on my face though. I make jokes about like getting a star or some dumb crap like that, but like I'm probably not gonna.
Yeah. Yeah, the face is a little bit weird for me too. I would like a neck tattoo, but I don't know if that's in my future and anytime soon. But what do you have something definitely next on the docket in terms of ink? Or you're not sure?
My left sleeve, so on my arm,
Hmm. Not a
I'm
stocking, a sleeve.
so I'll have the second one because this only my pen and feather thing and my chakras and my fleur de lis are here. Oh, and my cat.
Oh my goodness. That's so cute.
This is like my second tattoo ever, and the artist didn't tell me that it was faux pas to get hand tattoos first. Like I had no other tattoos really except that. And I was like, I just wanted to put it somewhere that everyone would see it. And he's like, well, that's definitely somewhere everyone will see that. And I don't know. I like him. Nobody.
I think it's amazing. It's perfect. It must be so painful to have that be your first tattoo. Was it hard?
It was my second.
Oh, your second? Mm-hmm.
And I had been getting piercings before that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I graduated high school in 2010. So like I had tongue piercings. I had like a straight through labrae. I started getting gum recession. So like I had to take it out and get the one that goes through the top.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd been getting piercings a long time, all the dermals and stuff. I did all that trendy crap. Um, so I was used to pain because the dermals, like, I ripped one out. That's a thing that
Ooh,
happens.
God.
Ugh. It was gross too. Like it comes out in a little bubble. It's nasty.
Oh. Oof.
So yeah, that's a nightmare. But I was just like I don't have enough tattoos, and my first tattoo was a Cheshire cat. So like I
Oh.
had a second cat now.
Yeah,
I
you
had all
have
cats.
two cats. Anyone said any annoying things to you about your tattoos?
Trying to guess who they are and like clearly not knowing. Okay, so
Mm, okay.
people who see, like I wear shorts in summer and shit, and I'll be walking down the street, and people don't have like nice, realistic portrait tattoos like really
Hmm.
around, so they really catch people's eyes, like holy shit, that's somebody's fucking face, like on her leg,
Hmm.
and I can see it from like across the block. So people are like yelling at me, like, "Is that Harrison Ford?" And I've gotten, "Is that John F. Kennedy?" Like several times, several times. And I'm
Wow.
just like, you guys, like, he's a political figure, but no, you know. But the one time that I was jumping for joy, and it was the first time I ever went to North Bend. They shut down the bar, and like me and my late fiance, whatever, are walking down the road, and I just hear, "Is that David Lynch on your leg?" And I just fell to my knees. I was
Mm.
like, oh, my angels are singing.
Yeah, because
Uh,
like it's like you were home, right? You were like in Twin Peaks and someone knew and someone was like, that's Lynch.
we literally, the owners of the bar had closed the bar. We were talking to these people outside still, and we were so jazzed outside this bar that they were like, "Do you want to come back in and have like another drink? It's on the house or cash only, whatever, blah blah blah." And like, we all just came in and like had a ball, and it all over a David Lynch tattoo. Like that's it.
See,
It's
so
all pretty.
that's magic. That's just magic. That's just what happens there. It's so beautiful. Have
It
you
was
been
the
have you
coolest
been
thing.
back since? Yeah, you have been back since, yeah,
Yes,
to work and
last
stuff.
year. I went back. I technically, I went to Oregon twice and North Bend, Washington one time because I was in North Bend, Snoqualmie area for like couple nights, and then I went to Seattle to visit a friend for the rest of the time, and I
Hmm.
just flew from Seattle, so
Hmm.
it was like a whole tour de force of like landing in Eugene, Oregon, and like going to or did I land? I think I landed in Portland that time, Portland, and then going around and around and around, eventually making it back to Twin Peaks.
The travel, yeah. Oh my gosh. Um, is there any questions that you would like people to ask you about your Twin Peaks tattoos?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I wonder, I always like being asked, like, do I know who that is? Like, and if I say it and they go, oh yeah, is that show any good? And I get to tell them about it.
Mm.
That's like, that's always really nice to be able to say, like, yeah, it was worth the permanent mark, for sure.
Because then you get to talk about the show.
Yes, and it's
Hmm.
like my favorite thing to talk about. And
Hmm.
anyone in the tri-state area will tell you. Yeah, God.
um, is there a character in Twin Peaks that you'd like to see have a tattoo? And what tattoo would you like for them to have?
This is like the one that, okay, so I don't know. I
Hmm.
feel like anybody in Twin Peaks who would like make it a point to get a tattoo would be like Bobby Briggs.
Hmm.
Um, if it was like season 1 and 2 era, or even 3, to be honest, like I can see him just like getting tired of like the workforce and wanting to
Hmm.
call out to his inner youth and just get something stupid. He would get something on his butt cheek for sure. And it would be like embarrassingly bad, like a smiley face or like something, like anything, man, just do it. Just want to feel it, you know? Like, um, I feel like James would get a good tattoo. I
James
feel
would
like
get a good tattoo. Uh-huh.
he would get serious like art, but I can't picture what he would. Well, I guess biker ink, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be
Like a traditional eagle or something, or like,
right, like American traditional style stuff. Like,
uh-huh.
yeah, my mom has quite a bit of that work too. She has like
Oh,
a
cool.
U.S. Navy, like old school
Nice.
tattoo, and she has like an American traditional, like cardinal bird, and like so like
Mm,
things that he saw on his travels, right, would
mm.
probably be part of it.
Oh, I like
Um,
that answer. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that would be like I can see who gets the stupid one and who gets the smart tattoo.
I really like that answer. I like how you're thinking about James. I think people think about him very differently than how you're thinking about him. I like that. I really like James with a traditional tattoo.
Yeah, I think that he plays his cards to where he's guarded and
Mm,
we know his past, so we understand why.
mm-hmm.
And we understand what goes on in Twin Peaks too. And I always just kind of thought he was an introvert and he got
Mm,
caught in an extrovert situation and he just
mm.
went, what the fuck with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like in the
Yeah.
return, I feel like I saw him as he was, like just
Mm,
a this big introverted guy. I'm not gonna say like good old boy, but kind of that fixture that stuck around and he traveled and came back and everybody was like respecting him and shit. Um, so yeah, that's kind of I feel like I'm kind of that guy sometimes, but I haven't gone back to my hometown. Like
you
fuck
have
that.
it. Mm-hmm. No, it's real.
They're like, we know.
That's really nice how you're talking about James. I like that take a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets a bad
Everybody's
rap, but yeah, I like that. I like the way you're thinking about him. Okay, finally, if there's a season 4 of Twin Peaks, which of course there will be, what character either existing or new would you play?
ooh, I would totally be a new character. I couldn't
Hmm.
play any. I'm too young to be any of these people. Like, I would probably be an Amanda Seyfried type character, like
Uh-huh.
some niece or grandchild or
Mm-hmm.
something, or even
Mm-hmm.
some. I could even be like a mystical lodge person. I feel like I could learn I could do the coaching and do the talking backwards
Mm-hmm.
takes stuff and I'm learning how to memorize lines and forward, and it's kind of hard. But yeah, I feel like I could do the freaky mystical shit. I could show up in a corner with weird attire and scare somebody, and I could be like a Bonnie Aaron's type character, like Mulholland Drive, like just a. And I tend like all the times I've been a feature extra or like some sort of feature guest, I've been like dead. Like,
You've been dead?
yeah, I've played somebody who was it was foretold that I would die, but I didn't die in the movie. And then I played a zombie, and then I've played a couple of dead bodies. Um, and I had like one scene where I was alive and kind of spoke in one of those roles, and then the other one. So yeah.
I feel like all of
And
that
I,
experience is like, yeah, I feel like all of that experience is like perfect for season 4. Like any one of those
yeah,
things are just, yeah,
because
the,
it's like at this point, I think we're kind of following like Dale and Carrie around,
mm-hmm.
and I do also still believe that Cooper went home. The real Cooper is at home with Janie and Sonny Jim. I
Oh,
do, and I think
wow.
his Doug put Cooper out into the sticks of the universe to like he fucked off. I think that Dale Cooper is smarter than doing all that shit all over again.
You think he's just like at home with Janie, just chilling?
Yep, I think he's chilling. I think he found the opportunity to use a Doug cut to retire, and he took
Wow.
it.
Wow. I've never heard that before.
Really? Oh, I feel like
Yeah.
a couple of people like just the question being posed, like who's
Hmm.
real Dale, and I'm like clearly the one who's like boning Naomi Watts and like has this adorable son with like a light up playground and has the family on his side. Like, yeah, I think that sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Lives in
that's
like
where I'd
a
be.
16-bedroom house and like owns a million other properties because he was cheating on Janie E with Jane, the Jane Gives You Rights chick. And
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was like a display home that he owned, like in a subdivision. Like
Oh, interesting.
I feel like it was empty in there. And I always thought it might have been a property he owned but
That
didn't
he
live
owned.
in.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wasn't ever clear about if he was just had snuck in or if it was in real estate. I guess he had a key to it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I really like that. He's just at home with Janie E
Yep.
and Sonny Jim. Two
That's
very normal names for
that's
a
part of
wife and a
why
child.
I don't know about the season 4 shit, y'all. Like, I personally think Dale Cooper himself retired, and if we're going to be watching anybody traipse in the cosmos, it's going to be that fake marble guy, you know?
These are really good answers.
It'd be interesting to watch, and it would really it would give me a big like X-Files feel, big like lone
Mm,
gunman, probably exotic, right?
hmm.
Um, but with the same characters, just different adventures every couple episodes or so, you know,
Mm.
and maybe another movie.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I think it would happen. I think it would just go full like, or oh, it's not Mike Judge. Who wrote the X Files? Chris Carter.
Hmm.
Chris Carter.
Yeah, Chris
I think
Carter.
it would go that direction.
Hmm.
Plus, I don't think that Lynch would stay on for that for very long, and he would turn it over to somebody else. If people really wanted to keep it going, it's probably not going to be him anymore, y'all. Like
Hmm.
your boy wants to woodwork and make tables and do like kind of old people stuff.
I was just rewatching the Art Life last night and I was thinking that too. I was like, he's not going to do this anymore. Like he's just wants to paint. Like what you know what I mean? Maybe he's doing other stuff, other art, I mean other video stuff, I mean other film stuff, but
Yeah, I would really, honestly, I want to go to a gallery and meet him. I want to meet him in an art show. Like, yeah. Next time I feel like I can hop a flight somewhere.
mhm. Katie, this has been so joyful to meet you and talk with
Yeah,
you and like it's been so much fun. Do you want to plug anything and also, tell people how they can find you online and stuff?
yeah. So we'll just do the standard. I just live on the internet. So Facebook is my first name is spelled Kaity. So it's Katie Navi McAllister on Facebook. McAllister is spelled like not like Kevin McAllister. It's just one C but two L's. So that's me on Facebook. Instagram and TikTok are much easier. It's just KTMC10. And I'm not on Snapchat, not on OnlyFans. Sorry. I'm on Vero, but That's great. That's where my spicy stuff is. So
Oh, okay.
it's not that spicy. It's just things that can't make it to Facebook. Like they
Mm-hmm.
go there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, still not enough for OnlyFans. So like here, get on Vero. It's the same way it's spelled everywhere else. I do not try to hide it. You'll see tits and ass. I
Mm-hmm.
promise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I guess I did have a couple of people contribute to the Patreon, sorry, the Indiegogo for Triple Xmas. So those folks can look forward to some signed posters. I signed the posters. And we can look forward to some streaming copies soon. And I know that, I can't remember who said it, but there's another fan, Twin Peaks family folk. I think it was Ryan Atchison, maybe. Somebody contributed to the Indiegogo and made it a point to be like, I do like a B movie horror night or whatever. And like, this is totally on our list of shows or movies for my film festival type movie marathon. And I was like, that's going to be freaking awesome. And your name's going to be in the credits because I think picked up a producer.
Oh,
So
awesome. Awesome. Christmas for you. It's amazing.
every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and actually I finally did take my damn tree down. It was driving me. Yeah, I've been filming. And it's funny because Christmas is following me around. Like there was a customer at work and their last name was Christmas. And I was like, you've got to be shitting me. And then I'll be watching like random episodes of like King of the Hill or something to unwind, and it'll be their Christmas episode. And I'm just like, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
The
like,
universe just throwing Christmas at you like you can't escape it. Mm-hmm. And then you're about to hit up Christmas in July here in a couple months. So there's more to come.
It is Christmas in July because my birthday's in July. So it is Christmas.
Oh, that is Christmas. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Well, this is so much fun, Kaity. Thank you so much. And everyone, I'll also link everything that we've talked about in the chat. And yeah, just thanks again.
Absolutely appreciate it. Love being on these. And this was such a great time talking about my favorite stuff.
So good.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Twin Peaks Tattoo Podcast. Each episode is produced by me, Emily Marinelli. Sound design and theme music by Dr. Animal Proof Rock. For more information on today's episode, go to my website, www.twinpeakstattoopodcast.com.